Welcome to the legendary WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. Behind us is the incredible corkscrew corner. My name's Andrew Coley. This is Tony Verlander. I've never been here before, and he's driven around this place.
Yeah, I thought I was excited, but you are even more. So this is an amazing place. We have awesome tracks in North America, but this is a very special one. In my racing days, this was the track that got me the most excited. Corkscrew, one of the most difficult corners. Racing line, you have basically one racing line here.
Yeah, it's not just about this, is it? With the dirt that we're standing on here, it gets sucked onto the track, so it's quite hard to make a pass here.
Yeah, not an easy task at all. A driver in front of you needs to make a mistake, then side-by-side action to the next corner, so we will have great racing this weekend.
All right, we can't wait to get started. Let's get down to the grid. We've got an amazing opening show for you here from Laguna Seca. Ladies and gentlemen, please look to the skies as Ferrari Challenge parachute jumpers descend to pit lane, proudly bearing the Italian and the United States flags. Now, please rise if you are able and remove your hats for the Italian and United States national anthems as we welcome back renowned tenor James Valenti to WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca.
L'Italia se desta dell'elmo Decebio se centa la testa dove la vittoria le porga la chioma che schiava di Roma che Dio la creò. Fratelli d'Italia, l'Italia se desta, dell'elmo di Scipio se cinta la testa, dove la vittoria le porga la chioma che schiava di Roma e Dio la creò. Stringiamoci a corte, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò. Stringiamoci a corte, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò sé. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets reclaimed the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled
to the 144th Fighter Wing of the California Air National Guard. What a spectacular flyover to launch today's Ferrari Challenge at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. What a fantastic way to kick things off for day one here at Laguna Seca. It's the 6th weekend of Ferrari Challenge North America 2025. Incredible track, F-15 fighter jets, blacks coming in on parachutes. We do not mess about a Ferrari Challenge. I'm excited, I know the drivers are excited, the grid's getting cleared and we are getting good to go with the first of our encounters. Pirelli race is coming up in just a few short minutes. Drivers are getting ready, look. Balaclavas are going on, comms are going in. Look at the weather, it's 27 Celsius, about 12 degrees, 20 Celsius. The air temperature's 5 degrees up on this morning. Humidity is down, track temperature is up. Grip should be higher than it was. Saw a few people spinning around this morning. The sun's out, there's a little bit of cloud, but we're looking forward to, look at that, blue skies. We haven't seen much of that today. We cannot wait to get started. Going to be fantastic. My name's Andrew Coley. Alongside me is Tony Villander. And, yeah, we're good to go, basically. Let's take a look at this incredible track layout. Tony, you've had a pole position here back in 2017. What a place.
Yeah, this is a very special track. A lot of elevation changes, a lot of risky areas where you drop one wheel off the track and you end up in the gravel or in the wall. So very famous corner, the corkscrew, blind corner in the entry, and suddenly the track drops really aggressively down left, down right, and then the momentum goes through turn 9 as well. Very demanding track, takes a little bit of risk from the drivers, and let's see, for the 30-minute race, the key points, obviously the start, turn 1, and then to survive the first lap.
Johnny Kaminsky is getting into the car now, the 16-year-old. I said to him yesterday, I want to be able to shout 16-year-old winner, you know, the youngest ever winner, and I said, when he's 17, he's like, next month. I was like, you need to get on with it, Johnny. Today's got to be the day. Him and his dad were having a good laugh with me about that. Up at the front, of course, you got Massimo Prina, the championship leader. Just behind him is Dylan Medler, who's in P2 in the standings. Last year's champion. Front row locked out by the Parinas. His uncle is up there with him as well, Roberto Parina. So we're in for a good race, I think, here. Packed grids as well. And Nina Jade Paul is another fantastic member of our TV team. She is down there soaking up the atmosphere on the grid. Let's go say hi.
Absolutely. We are just moments away, as you can see, from going racing here at Laguna Seca, and the championship battle is incredibly close in each class, meaning every single point here this weekend will be absolutely critical. Now, Laguna Seca is a tight, narrow circuit, meaning overtaking is possible, but it's a little tricky. You can expect overtakes at the Andretti hairpin in turn 2 and down to the corkscrew if our drivers are feeling brave and punchy. In terms of the race, we have Pirelli up first, followed by Shell. I mentioned how tight the championship is in Pirelli and Pirelli Am. In Pirelli Am, just 53 points covers the top 4 drivers in the standings. So none of those drivers can afford to make a mistake this weekend. It could be championship defining. And in Pirelli, of course, the season-long battle between Massimo Prina and Dylan Medler has kept us gripped all year long. Massimo leads Dylan by 43 points. And another driver to keep your eye on is Robert Parina. He is 3rd in the standings in the championships with only 13 points behind Dylan. So he will certainly be looking to maximise this weekend. I'm very excited. There's not long to go now until we get racing.
Thank you, Nina Jade. There is Dylan Medler's car on row 2. Needs to do something to try and stop the march of Massimo Prina out front. 5 wins, 5 fastest laps, now 6 poles in a row. Tony, you said earlier, what was it you called it? He's in like the circle of performance, isn't he?
Yeah, he's having definitely a great momentum. He's carrying the speed basically on every track of the championship. Very confident with the race car. I was thinking a little bit about the strategy for the race. So how do you set up the tire pressures? How many safety cars are you predicting? Do you just point the fact that you want to be very fast at the first part of the race, then struggle a little bit towards the end? Or is the lower tire pressures key that in the last 10 minutes you are the fastest driver on track? So let's see how this first race plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what are the keys to those setup changes? What sort of things will they be doing other than tire pressures? What else can they do?
Also confidence and experience, because this morning we saw some surprising errors from the drivers. Definitely the grip was not up to the level that drivers were expecting. Are you nervous? Did you change the setup now for the race, or are you confident?
Yeah, based on this morning.
Yeah. Are you confident that what you learned over the last 2-3 days, that let's stick with the plan and let's not get nervous and change too many things?
Yeah, make the plan and execute it rather than thinking, it was a bit cold this morning, grip wasn't what I thought it was.
But
drivers. Having a gamble, you've got to change. Drivers love to change setup, don't they? Why don't we try this? And the engineer's like, that won't work. But try persuading a driver that it won't work. It's there's some pretty fascinating chats between lead engineers and drivers, very much. So who's going to gamble? Who's going to go for it? It's hard to pass here. I think you've got it. For me, if I was out front, I'd want to be pushing and able to go straight away.
And if you have a chance to overtake, go for it, because you never know when the race is going to get neutralized. Is there yellow flags? Is the race going to get shorter? So if you have a chance to overtake a driver in front of you, just go for it.
Absolutely agree. Well, they are heading out now to go around for a warm-up lap, an out lap, a reconnaissance lap, if you like, around Laguna Seca. It's an incredible track, and it's great seeing them cruise around for a little look and a little tyre warm-up, but that's not as much fun as doing a full-speed lap. So we got one of our drivers, Lewis Flory, to take us for an on-board ride around the roller coaster that is Laguna Seca. Have a look at this.
Hey guys, Lewis Flory here, driver of car number 183, racing with Ferrari of Houston and Risi Competizione. And today I'm going to take you for a lap on the world-famous WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. So here we are on the front straight, coming under the bridge, which is actually turn 1, oddly enough. Doesn't really feel like much of one. Coming up to turn 2, you got to get wide right, down to third gear. This hairpin is really important to catch both these apexes here, and then power out as soon as possible to get the power down. Coming up to turn 3, braking a little bit before the 2, same thing, get down into that apex, and then swing it out wide and hammer down into 4. 4th is a 4th gear, faster corner, bring it inside, fly it out, get on down to 5 as fast as you possibly can. Coming up to 5, the bridge is a great marker for your braking point. You want to get underneath it, braking in, staying in the 4th gear, coming out, try to use all the track out the side here. It's a little off camber there, it can feel a little weird. Same thing, you want to get past this bridge, braking into 6th, 4th gear, down to the apex, and use all that track outside. Coming up to the hill and setting up for a great angle, hopefully going into the famous corkscrew. Get wide, stay as wide as you can. 3rd gear, there's a total blind apex coming down here, and then power out, getting ready for 9. You're kind of in the middle of the road here, little brush of the brakes, bring it into that apex, and power all the way out, bring it back in for turn 10, staying in 4th gear, find that apex, and send it out. Coming up to 11, it's a really slow corner, you're gonna hit the brakes pretty hard around the 2.5 mark, down to 3rd gear, find your exit, and send it on down the straight. And that was a lap at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca.
Brilliant stuff from Lewis Flory. Tony, tell the viewers at home what you just said to me while we were watching.
How did I ever do a pole position here 7-8 years ago? Looks scary now.
It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, tough. It's a momentum track. If you have a confidence with your car, you just enter sort of like a flow, and just more speed into the corners, more speed, and this is what the lap time is made of here.
Amazing. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Right, we're going to have a great weekend here. We had a fantastic one last time out as well. So if you missed it, here's some highlights from Watkins Glen. Another fantastic weekend with Ferrari Challenge, of course, last time out at Watkins Glen, an amazing circuit. We really have been to some brilliant places this year. You can see the cars are getting themselves back into pit road now, ready for the start of this one. Laguna Seca, round 6, as you can see. Each of these is a double header, so really this is race 11 and race 12. Sonoma Raceway was where we started. California, just probably, 3 hours up the road. Another rolling hillside track. Daytona International Speedway, of course, home of the legendary Daytona 500. Miami Autodrome, the first race to go to that track outside of Formula One. Indianapolis, where we had the Indy 500. Of course, it's just a legendary bunch of tracks. Watkins Glen that you just saw, now Laguna Seca, and then Mugello at the end of October. We are about good to go. It's sounding pretty quiet down there in pit lane, so let's get down and get this thing underway.
Right here. Turn around to you.
Okay, wheel nuts being checked. Tyre pressures being sorted. After that warm-up lap, the pressures come up a little bit, Tony, and then you can make that final adjustment, get it right in the window you want it in.
Yeah, exactly. Drivers have a feel now after the recon lap. Where is the grip, how the car feels, with a little bit more fuel compared to the qualifying. Also the tires. You need to use the same set of tires you used in a qualifying. So who did few laps less than the others maybe has a slight advantage towards the end of the race. Tire pressures, one of the key elements. If the tire pressures go too high over the working window, then you start losing grip front and rear, and suddenly the lap time goes way slower. So those are the key points for the race on the technical side. Also the leaders, P1 driver Massimo Perina, he has a lot of responsibilities for the start, so he needs to maintain a certain speed, keep the queue all together, and not to accelerate too early.
Let's see who gets it right then. We are good to go. Let's get down to pit lane. Here we go.
Drivers, start your Ferrari engines.
Thank you very much to Supervisor Kate Daniels for getting things underway here. We fire up the V6 twin turbos in the 296 Challenge cars. Time for the rest of the pit crew to leave the grid, and that leaves the drivers on their own, other than a radio connection to the rest of the team for a bit of tactics and a few updates, and this is when the pressure starts to build.
Yeah, you saw there on Johnny Kaminsky's car, just a little tap on the car to get the first gear in. Drivers and teams are ready to get this race one underway. Hopefully a clean start.
Everybody's going to want a decent one, aren't they? We want that as well. I want to see good racing. Real motorsport fans don't come for the carnage. They come for good racing. They come for seeing people on the limit. They come for seeing beautiful, fast cars being pushed. And we saw that this morning in qualifying, and I'm expecting that we're going to see it again as we have a good close-up look around one of these challenge cars. I reckon that's the most popular part in the parts truck, Tony, the wing mirrors. Because we've seen a few of them. We saw one off this morning, didn't we? If you're going to get close to another car, you're going to get close to a wall, it is the wing mirrors which will come into contact first of all. Nina Jade Paul sees the cars out, and we are getting ourselves good to go. Weekend number 6, Ferrari Challenge North America. That is the safety car heading down towards Turn 1 at Laguna Seca, which is the venue for weekend number 6, as we say, rounds 11 and 12. The last two races here on United States territory before these drivers head across to Italy for the finale mondiale at Mugello. You want to go there with as many points as you can, the least pressure possible. You're going to come across drivers you're not normally racing, and you want to have a good weekend there, so you need to get a good one in here. On the pole for the 6th time in a row, can he make it 6 wins and 6 fastest laps as well? He's had the previous 5. Massimo Perina, Uncle Roberto alongside Dylan Medler, last year's champion on Road 2, will look to stop them, as will Johnny Kaminsky, looking for the first ever win for a 16-year-old in Ferrari Challenge. Ethan McWilliams and Brian Cook are on Road 3. And on row 4, we have Tony Davis and Jason McCarthy. Row 5, and now we get ourselves into Trofeo Pirelli Am. Eric Pan on the pole ahead of Brad Fowler, the championship leader. Then it's Ray Acosta, Esteban Beckman. Row 7, Joe Rubo and Michael Porter. Row number 8, Harry Chung and Matthew Diel. Row number 9, Sebastian Mascaro and Michael Mathis. Mascaro is up there in the championship standings, needs to make a few passes to get a few more points. Jay Logan and Bruce Cleveland are row 10. Row 11, Kevin Gutierrez and Ophir Levy. Row 12, Gerdas Venceslas and Omar Balkasoon. Row 13, Robert McWilliams and Gregory Hopkins. And on row 14 is Frank Sesniak. Had a great chat yesterday with the father. It's Robert McWilliams, the father, of course, of Ethan McWilliams. So Robert is in the Pirelli Am category. To be fair to Robert, towards the back of the grid this time, but his son Ethan McWilliams is up on row 3, and he said to me, I'm so lucky. He said, I'm here racing with my son, and he had such a big grin on his face. I thought, good for you, mate. What a cracking way to spend your time.
Yeah, we have a lot of family efforts in Ferrari Challenge,
yes.
So a lot of different family members driving either Club Challenge, Club GT, or racing in Ferrari Challenge. So these events, these weekends are really special ones. Everybody together, family, friends, sponsors. So these are just beautiful events.
Yeah, they are. The atmosphere is great. You can see now the two categories have split themselves up because the lights are out on the safety car and we're getting good to go. Massimo Perina will decide when they go. The safety car pulls off to the left-hand side. In the background, you should see the Trofeo Pirelli Am drivers also lined up. Big gap between them to stop any accidents between the front and rear of the fields. Great decision. What have the Perinas decided as they head up towards turn 1? When are they going to go on the gas? You can see brake lights on. They're checking them up as they get the pack tight in together for the run to the first corner. Green flag. And Massimo Perina is relatively late on the throttle as they run down towards turn 1. Medler will try and get up the inside of Roberto Perina. Medler looks to the inside line, goes late on the brakes. Oh, he's across the dirt, doesn't take out Massimo Perina in front. Medler with what looks like a brilliant attempt to make a pass through turn 1. Where's Medler? He didn't do it. Medler lost out. Medler all the way up the inside and somehow ends back in P2. Massimo Perina holds on, but Roberto Perina's dropped down. Medler still side by side with Perina, trying to go around the outside. This is a concerted effort from last year's champion. Runs 2 tyres over the dirt on the inside line. Roberto Perina has to do the same on the right-hand side of the track. Looks up the inside again, and Perina takes the position back. So Massimo Perina, Roberto Perina, and Dylan Medler, P1, 2, 3, side by side for 4th place as well. Kaminsky looks to have dropped back. That's a spin. 13 is Balkasoon, is it? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
17.
Big damage on the car.
2 cars out immediately. I think they're far enough off the track.
Dylan side by side. Whoa, going into corkscrew.
Didn't manage to get through, so it's super tight up at the front. Medler, really a full course yellow straight away. Okay, everybody sit back. You were right, Tony. There was an early off. What a shame. What a brilliant first couple of corners. What a great attempt from Dylan Medler across the dirt in slippery conditions. He had a crack at them when the tyres were cold. Good move.
Yeah, that is what I was thinking. Since the practice, Massimo Perina has outpaced everybody. So Dylan's strategy, approach for the race for sure was to try to take the lead of the race, and he was really hungry for it on the opening lap. But then coming out of turn 4, Massimo a little bit took Dylan out of the racing line, dropped the wheel, and then after that, here we see the accident.
Yeah, so it wasn't Balkasoon, it's Ophir Levy. So Levy's done the same as Medler. He's gone up the inside, but he hasn't managed to get it checked up. Yeah, it's Ophir Levy in the number 13, and he hit Jay Logan in the 70 car. So, yeah, my apologies to Balkasoon. Obviously not him. It was a quick look. There is, in the black and gold, Sebastian Mascaro, who's in P2 in Pirelli Am. Overall, that is, not in the race. At the minute in the race, he's down in about P8 in Pirelli Am. The leader of Pirelli Am, Brad Favre from Esteban Beckman. How long do you think it's going to take to get this cleared up?
Hopefully it doesn't take that long. Looks like most of the cars were out of dangerous places, and then obviously there's no major damage. So I think once the cars are cleared, drivers are okay, I think we can get back to racing relatively soon.
Yeah, Eric Pan has dropped from 1st to 3rd in Trofeo Pirelli Am. Just getting the time screen up now. So Brad Favre from Esteban Beckman, Eric Pan to the pole, to drops to 3rd. Massimo Perina does hold on, but only after that tussle with Medler. And now they just have to cruise around. So, okay, the clock is running. I don't think they're off the track. I don't think it would take that long, although I think Levy took a wheel off. Broke a corner, meaning the car isn't drivable, so they may have to flatbed that away, and if they do, that could cost them 10 or so minutes. That helps with tyre life, but it doesn't help for us with the action.
Yeah, we had a good start for the race. Really aggressive moves from Dylan Medler, fighting and trying to take that lead of the race. Unfortunately, we had some contact, so that's why we're now under full course yellow, under safety car. Hopefully after this lap, we will get back to racing.
That's Tony Davis in the blue and yellow, who's sitting in P8. Let's have another look. So look on the inside here. He takes avoiding action, doesn't he? Just a tiny bit from whoever it is that's on his right. We can't see from that angle. But then he's just in the loose stuff, which Medler crossed, as we say. But definitely, well, 2 broken cars, we know that. Unfortunate there, really, for Logan just getting picked up completely, you know. But, I mean, it does happen in turn 1. But that, of course, this is what you were saying in the open to the show about the fact that the dust gets sucked onto the racing line, and it means that off the line it's always slippery. In the background, you can see the rescue vehicles are there. Frustrating for the drivers, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe this might take a little bit longer if there is the emergency vehicles, and also they need to recover the cars.
Yeah, okay, they've got the 2 beds there, so that is Logan's car heading off in the background already. Nothing worse is than finishing your race on the back of a flatbed. You know it's not been a good day. And neither of those cars is severely damaged. They'll both be back out tomorrow, but it's just gutting, isn't it, to only make it to turn 1. We're going to go for an onboard with GL. Oh, this is just now as he's cruising round. You can see in the middle of the screen there, that's the rear view mirror, which is what they use instead of a mirror. He's coming up now. I wonder if we can stay with him. I don't know how good the signal is up the hill. Because this was the bit that I was staggered about when we saw the lap earlier on with Lewis Flory. It's how blind this is. It's completely... He said, hopefully you're on the right line. And I was like, oh, I get it now. Like you see here, the curve on the left, the curve on the right, and then literally your whole world pulls away to the left-hand side. Look at this, in tight to the left. Look at the right, you can't see it. Steep downhill and then get back up to the right. It's up there, isn't it, in the top corners in the world?
Yeah, it's a very demanding spot. Every time you come back to Laguna Seca, it takes a few laps to get the reference points right, to get the right racing line. But after that, it's just building up the confidence. Normal procedures, telemetry, you need to gain speed, you need to go faster in, earlier on throttle, and the same process. I think the cars are back to the pit lane.
Yeah, they are. So they're going to bring them in. The only advantage to that is it means we'll stop the clock, probably. So that just means we'll get as much race time as possible. So with McCarthy now rolling back in.
You can hear him dragging the brakes.
Yeah, warming the brakes.
Just trying to create heat, but I would say at this time he has already heat.
Yeah.
Heat on the rotors.
And also he's about to stop.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why, as we get the second car recovered, front right corner, not looking in such good shape, unfortunately. I went off here, Levy, he qualified P22. Mind you, Jay Logan was 19th. It's about right in terms of where the impact was. It's not like he's come miles up through the pack for the contact. And everybody back into pit road. Well, there we go. Not the start to the weekend we were looking for. And unusual as well in the Pirelli race. A little bit, the drivers are a little bit more experienced. And I suppose they're better equipped at least to deal with what happens now, which is the whole get back in pit lane, go again. You know, adrenaline up, adrenaline down is really hard.
Yeah, this is difficult for the driver. So athlete, when he's building up the adrenaline, building up the momentum to the right time to perform, then like you said, now everything goes down, and then you need to come back with the concentration. Normally the questions through radio are how many minutes this gonna last, what we do. We switch off the cars, we jump out, and normally it's the engineers and the teams, they already know quite clearly what's going to happen, and I would say they're already rolling out from the pit lane. So
I mean, I think maybe we could have just sent the safety car out, you know, and just followed it round. But there you go, we haven't lost much time, so fair enough. And race control have a tough job. getting everything done. You can see it's double waved yellow up at the top there. The marshal's doing a great job as always.
We have an amazing grid of cars, great number of cars in Pirelli Am.
I think Matt Dewsbury, the head of Ferrari Motorsport, said to me that there were 120 cars here this weekend, which just puts it right up there as one of the biggest events of the year.
Yeah, I mean, Ferrari runs these weekends on the best tracks of North America, but Laguna Seca is one of the favorite spots. Obviously, this state of California is beautiful. The surrounding here, the Monterey area is very, very beautiful, but the track itself is the one that really brings all the drivers, all the teams here, and everybody wants to show their skills and perform here at Laguna Seca.
We're going to head down to Nina Jade Paul. She's got an update from pit lane for us. Nina Jade.
Yes, hello. Just got some intel for you. The reasons we brought the cars into pit lane, we had to reorder the first 4 cars of Pirelli Am because when they went green initially, the order got a little bit messed up. So they brought the cars back into the pit lane to put them in the correct order that they originally qualified in. So that was the reason for bringing all the cars into pit lane.
Interesting. Thank you, Nina Jade. That's unusual, Tony.
Yeah, a little bit, because we didn't go red flag and stuff like that. So
Mascaro's just had to take avoiding action on the warm-up lap.
yeah,
I think they're going unusually slowly, aren't they, into this left-hander, and some people are getting caught out by that as they're coming up the hill, having to check up and slide the car off to the side. And that's just people getting stuff up to temperatures again. Everybody needs to calm down. Right.
yeah. Now normally it's a single file
Restart. Yeah.
So it should be a little bit easier on the opening or the first corners, a little bit less side-by-side action, and probably less contact.
I like the use of the word probably, Tony.
Yeah, sometimes safety cars do bring more safety cars. So.
He's gone early. So Perina's gone really early. This time he goes on the brakes into turn 1 because the cars are in a line. Medler is tucked right up underneath Roberto Perina. So watch for Medler making a move up in turn 1. Can he slide to the inside as he tried earlier on Massimo Perina? Is he going to have a go at Roberto Perina? He doesn't. He goes to the outside line. If anything, he's too deep on the brakes. He might get into the second apex. Perina was very defensive on the way in. Medler's going to get good exit speed, but Massimo Perina here has the advantage as they come up towards turn 3. The right-hander in front of Casa Ferrari. And Roberto Perina is just in front of Dylan Medler.
Yeah, this is really playing out for Massimo Perina. So 2 drivers behind him fighting for the position, Roberto and Dylan. And Massimo is able to open a decent gap. Let's see if somebody just dropped the wheel coming out of turn 4 or somebody's in the gravel.
I reckon somebody's dropped a wheel looking at the way the gravel was going down the road. Eric Pan in the 88 is the leader of Pirelli Am. He's up behind Tony Davis, who is the blue and yellow car. So Pan was down in P4. So something, as Nina Jade said, something happened, and race control have said, no, that's not the right way to do it. So we'll put it back as it was at qualifying. And in fact, looking at the top 3 are certainly as they were in qualifying order. Brilliant shots from the drone as they tumble down through the corkscrew on this opening lap. Well, second opening lap, of course, after the first one, which didn't go too well. And now Massimo Perina already looking to get away. So as he comes around this time, let's see what the gap is. This is our first racing lap. Massimo Perina will head up towards the timing line, which is under the bridge just before turn 1. As the rest of the field streams through. He does the fastest lap, some 0.7 of a second quicker than Roberto Perina behind him, and the gap is 1.4. So he had 0.6 just from the last corner, turn 11, up to the start-finish line on the first lap, and then another 7 on this one. And if Medler wants to do anything about him, I think he's going to have to dispatch Roberto Perina as quickly as he can.
Yeah, Massimo Perina just looks very dominant and everything is under control. He's super good in qualifying mode and very safe, rarely makes mistakes, so this is looking very strong for Massimo Perina.
You're on board with Jason McCarthy, who's in P7 at the minute in the number 11 car. You hear him pick the throttle up, run the car all the way over that extra piece of pavement on the outside of the curbs, up towards the top of the hill. Left-hander here. This is just before the Rahal straight. That's turn 6 again. Keep the car out wide over the crest. This is the tough part now. Curbs on the left and the right. On the brakes, you're desperately trying to find your reference point over the crest and in. Pitch it to the right and then back on the throttle. You can't get on it too early or you spin. You pick up a bit of wheel spin on the exit. Listen to that as well, rolled off the throttle the whole way through the left-hander, then you pick it up again on the run down the hill.
Yeah, We were riding here on board with Jason McCarthy. He has some understeer at the high-speed section, so he needs to wait the car to rotate a little bit. We hear those moments where he's off throttle, just waiting like you mentioned,
yes.
And he's struggling a little bit with the understeer.
Do you think that might come back to him? Could they have set the tyre pressures for that to come back to him later in the race?
Yes, this is the experience you gather in testing, so probably once the rear tires lose a little bit of grip, the balance becomes more neutral.
Okay, so he's was probably playing the long game, but of course we've lost 10 minutes of race duration to the full course yellow, so that may not play out to his advantage. Let's see. Parina leads from Parina. That's Massimo in front of Roberto. Dylan Medley's third. Then Brian Cook, Ethan McWilliams, Johnny Kaminsky down in P6. Kaminsky in your shot now. Someone's had a trip over the gravel as well. We see a number on the side of that. Beckman, it is, who's gone across the gravel. So Kaminsky was feeling really confident coming here, but needs to see if he can pass in front of him, say McWilliams and Cook. There he is at the back of those three. And
yeah, Johnny has lost 2 places from the start.
Yes.
He started P4,
yeah,
and now he's P6.
I think that might have happened on the first start, but I'm not entirely sure. So we're at half race distance already, 15 minutes to go for Trofeo Pirelli, Massimo Parina. The gap has actually come down by hundredths because Roberto Parina's just done the fastest lap of the race, 1:23.667. So he carves a little half a tenth off it. 1:24.2 from Medler. We're getting down into the AM category here. That's Ray Acosta, who's P4, the number 7 car, middle of your shot there. Behind him is Chung in the yellow car, number 77. Acosta's always fun to watch, always aggressive, gets on it.
Yeah, and he always promises us action.
Yes.
But I'm going to make a show. I'm going to show you what I can do in the race.
Ray, that's what we want. That is definitely what we don't see people cruising round. It's like we said earlier, we were watching Mitchell Green's qualifying lap. Yes, it wasn't a perfect lap. Did I enjoy it? Yes. we want to see people go for it. And Acosta is definitely, you might refer to him as a sender, you know?
Full send.
Yeah, we love a sender. Everybody loves a sender. Rubo, the fastest lap in Trofeo Pirelli, and remember there is a point for that.
Yeah, in Pirelli, surprising to see that the fastest lap right now Roberto has it.
Yeah,
not Massimo.
On that last lap, took it on the last time round. You wondered that you was Massimo just cruising and holding the gap, ready to push if he needs to. Kaminsky remains in P6 at the moment. Is he a little bit closer maybe to McWilliams? Ethan McWilliams this year has had the 1P2 back in Miami. Kaminsky's been third 4 times and second once, hasn't had that win. Was leading, if you remember, in Daytona. I'm sure he got a puncture in Daytona, didn't he? Took a tyre off a rim and that was the potential win gone, unfortunately for him. There is that best lap by Roberto Parina.
Yeah, Dylan cannot really stay close to Roberto Parina. He's falling behind.
Yeah, he's going, isn't he? He's dropping off. What were the lap times last time around? 1:23.9.
Half a second, 6/10.
Yeah, it's a lot. If anything, I'd say Medler's going to come under pressure soon. Oh no, sorry, we're getting back here. This is Cook, McWilliams and Kaminsky. So it's Cook with the red and yellow here. There's McWilliams and Kaminsky. Highlighted on the left-hand side of your screen. 7/10 between the first two, 5/10 then back to Kaminsky. Brightest sunshine and nicest weather we've had, I'd say, in the last 2 days. It's been a bit misty here over the last couple of days. I think they're getting away from Kaminsky as well. Kaminsky, the gap looks to have gone up a bit. He was 0.599 off the back of McWilliams on the last lap. Let's see what it is this time. Yeah, it's gone up. Kaminsky's gap's gone up to a second, so he has lost some time. We're looking at second and third in the AM category. Brad Fowler and Joe Rubo. Not seen anyone so far, Tony, making a concerted effort to have a look at a pass. As you said, it is tricky.
Yeah, it's not easy. You can get quite close, but just to be behind, be in the bumper of the car ahead, it gives you some dirty air, so you lose the aero balance a little bit. Corners like here, turn 4, if the front washes away a bit, you just lose speed in the exit, and it's very difficult to overtake. So I would even say that now is a little bit of waiting game. Who has the best balance towards the end of the race? We lost almost 10 minutes of racing, so that's going to equalize everything. If somebody is to run into trouble with his tires or other stuff, now it should happen less. So, but yeah, like I mentioned in the pre-show, it's not an easy track to overtake.
Absolutely not. You're looking at Eric Pan, Brad Favre, Joe Rubo, Ray Acosta, all within 1.7 seconds of each other. So 4 cars, 1.7 seconds for the lead. Back to P4 with Acosta. Acosta at the back of your shot there with the red and the orange on the hood of the car. Behind him is Chung and Porter and Mascara. I mean, it's only 3.7 across the top 7. So it's very close in terms of lap times, but nobody is quite close enough to get that pressure on the driver in front to make a mistake, because that's what you're going to have to do, I think, to get the pass. If you need them to go, I've got to brake a bit later, and just run the nose a bit wide and you stay calm.
I think Ray Acosta has lost 1 place. I think he was P3 earlier, and now he's down to P4. So he has actually lost 1 place, I think.
Casa Ferrari, a wonderful view from there of the track action. So we were watching this morning, and a car went off on the outside of turn 3 whilst we were sitting there eating breakfast. It's an unusual setting for a bit of food, but I have to say it's great. Okay, now Favre is looking for a way past Pan. Uses all the track and a little bit of the curbs on the outside.
Yeah, Favre was the fastest driver in practice, and then was Eric Pan who had the pole position. So Favre has things coming to his way. It looks like he's the fastest of these leading drivers in Pirelli.
Acosta back onto the back of this trail. If anything, has got away a bit from Chung. Mascaro runs a bit deep in the background, but cuts over the curbs and hangs on to the car and the position. DL behind him. Balkasoon is unseen. He's further back. It's about, so it's 4.6 back to DL at the back of your shot here, and then it was 6.2 back to Balkasoon, so another 1.5 seconds, which is just a little bit of a gap between. Onboard with Matty DL now. Let's watch him up towards turn 1. Here we go. 5th gear. Is he going to take 6th? Yes, he does. Just over the crest 6th.
And close in early, turn 2. Leave the apex a bit, and then come back again to the second part and have a good straight. Put the car straight as soon as possible. A good acceleration. Turn 3, lift the throttle, tap on the brake to get some nose dive in, to get some grip on the front tires. Same thing here, roll off the throttle into 4 and back on throttle as soon as you feel the rotation. Early on power, and you carry more speed.
It's definitely a track with flow, isn't it? It is definitely flow in terms of that, just those exit speeds, and it's committed to it. Is fast.
Yeah,
it is fast. Brian Cook for Ferrari of Seattle with Boardwalk Ferraris. Ethan McWilliams just behind, and Johnny Kaminsky not far off the back of them either for Ferrari of Long Island. Kaminsky not with the pace that he seemingly had earlier on in the week. So he did miss the last 2 rounds, unfortunately, due to being too young. I mean, that's not the end of the world, is it? I'd like to be too young. That would be great. Sadly, that ship sailed. But Kaminsky needs to just get a little bit closer if he wants to try and make some headway. Roberto Perina's still got the fastest lap from Massimo. And this is Dylan Medler coming through. So Medler 6.9, and then you get back to the battle. So Medler's kind of in no man's land, isn't he? He's not in the battle for P1 and 2. I don't think Roberto, even if he had the pace of Massimo, I don't think he'd challenge him. This now is getting a bit more racy. Cook and McWilliams. McWilliams is, can he do anything to find a way through or pressure Cook into making a little bit of a mistake? Cook maybe slightly more defensive on his turn-in line there, but still gets a good exit, and they're both using all the road, as is Kaminsky.
Yeah, Cook stayed really long on the right-hand side at the exit of the corner, so he even picked up some dirt on his tires. So coming out of turn 5, he went really wide.
Gap is only 0.098 between them. So So this is the P1, 2, 3 battle for Trofeo Pirelli and Pan, Falva and Rubo, 0.3 and 0.8, so less than a second covering the top three. But again, at the moment, nobody making a really concerted effort. We need a Costa to get stuck in here, don't we? We need Ray to liven things up for us as we've got 6 minutes 30 remaining of this one. And indeed, Acosta now is a little bit closer to Joe Rubo in front. As they head down towards turn one, Rubo seems to know and stays left just a little bit as they come up over the crest. This is so fast when you come over the crest. It's all unseen and then rolling off the throttle onto the brakes. Oh, and up the inside, Acosta comes in really hot, but does get it stopped. So there is more pace there, but if he can't get past...
this is the fight for the third place. So Ray is very close to Rubo and trying to put pressure. I mean, the one key thing is try to keep the pressure on and force the other driver to make and commit a mistake.
Falva not far behind Pan, but with 5 minutes remaining, I haven't seen anybody yet make it. Look, Costa's lost a bit of time there, so maybe he's really good in that first sector and then loses a bit on the run up the hill towards the corkscrew. Here it is again. Wonderful corner. It is, I know we always say it, but the TV doesn't do it justice. The drone actually does it justice because you get to see the angles. It is so steep, but Pan's doing a good job here. Yeah,
the leading 4 drivers here in Pirelli getting together, more closer, and we are into the last 5 minutes of the race. So let's see here now. Oh, it's very close. He's Brian Cook.
Kaminski's there to pick up the pieces if anything goes wrong here. They are very, very close indeed now. So Cook, McWilliams and Kaminski. Might we get a little race out of these three at the end here?
Looks like Cook is struggling a little bit with his tires.
Goes out, stays on his standard racing line. He thinks McWilliams can't find a way through, but they've got to watch out for Kaminski as well. Kaminski now with a run on McWilliams, comes out one side then the other. He'll know it's dirty offline, so if you're going to do it, you've got to commit to it, get it done, and not skittle the car in front of you, of course. Good exit from both Cook and McWilliams on the run up the hill. Still, these three are so close together. Car parked off to the side of the track. Who's that? Couldn't catch a number from this distance. Hopefully that doesn't cause us a full course yellow at this point in the race with 4 minutes to go. It's in a relatively safe spot, I think.
Yeah, the yellow and red car, Brian Cook is the slowest of these three, so that's why the group also here is getting closer, and there's a battle for 4th place in Pirelli.
But they can't find a way through, can they, despite that? And he's not at the moment even driving defensively. It's all, he's remaining sure that they can't find a quicker line offline. So he's just staying on his line, thinking that they can't. So stays out wide here. Look, Kaminski coming in behind, but it's McWilliams who's so close behind Cook. McWilliams now looks again. He's making him drive on the mirrors, comes out wide to the outside line. This time Cook's a little bit defensive. McWilliams on the run past Casa Ferrari, looking to the inside line. McWilliams has got his nose up there, but it's not quite enough. Cook shuts him off. It was really close. Kaminski now will close down a bit on them as they've got slightly less speed. Kaminski won't look to the inside here. Good attempt by McWilliams, it really was, but he needed to be another half car length up. He has a bit too much rotation on the car on the exit. Kaminski will see that and sense that he's under a bit of pressure here. So Kaminski trying to find a way, and again out to the outside. Johnny Kaminski looks to the inside line as they come up. This will be really tight over the crest on the run into the corkscrew. Kaminski side by side, passes him on the brakes into the corkscrew. What a brilliant move by the 16-year-old. The car's sideways over the crest, but he hangs on to it. That's a great pass, Tony.
That was a really, really well executed overtaking. He prepared the car earlier, several corners before, and great overtaking into corkscrew.
Really good. Now the question mark is with 2 minutes 30 left, which is going to be a couple of laps. Can Kaminski get up to Cook and maybe execute something similar? He was helped definitely by the mistake from McWilliams on the exit of the corner further down, where he just got a bit too much sideways on the exit.
Yeah, and on the previous laps, Brian Cook, who is ahead here, he's struggling here with the rotation. So
Kaminski runs deep, almost loses the position, gets back to the second apex. He came in a bit hot. He now gets a bit sideways. So now McWilliams is going to try and make the move back on him that Kaminsky has made on the previous lap. Kaminsky's sideways again. I think these guys are pushing hard on this Pirelli rubber.
Yeah, it's now or never. Now you need to go for it.
Absolutely, 1 minute 53. They're going to get this lap and one more. McWilliams pulls out to the inside. He's trying to make Kaminsky look in the mirrors now and make a mistake, maybe unsighted, but Kaminsky stays well on the pavement. McWilliams with a better exit. He now has a chance to try and make that move as they come up Rahal straight. Oh, good work through. Kaminsky was quick through there, risking it. Cook's got that bit of breathing space. Here comes Kaminsky now through the corkscrew.
Yeah, the speed he carried through turn 6 is actually the gap he was able to open.
Look at that, talking of gaps. Massimo Perina sees the white flag for the final lap. So Perina starts the final lap. What is the gap back? 6.9. It goes up by another 0.3 on his uncle. Medler down in P3. Hasn't got an answer for them this time. Massimo Perina, though, he's missing one thing here, Tony. He's missing the fastest lap. And, you know, we're picking holes because this guy's about to take his 6th win in a row, which is just outrageous. The AM category is still super close. Look, Eric Pan, Brad Falver, Joe Rubo. Wow, amazing performances from all our top drivers here. But Massimo Perina doing a brilliant job out front, unchallenged, 6.9 seconds up the road, just what he wants as he's bringing his championship season to a close. Pan now, he's had a P2 and a P3 this year. He only competed at the first 2 rounds at Sonoma. He might be able to complete his collection of podium positions here.
Ray Acosta is really close.
He is, yeah. Acosta trying to find a way through past Joe Rubo. Pan will be desperate to hold on for this one. And I think he's got enough of a gap, to be fair. So Pan with a bit of a gap. What was the gap with Kaminsky and McWilliams as they came through? It was only, a few tenths of a second. Massimo Perina into the final corner to take his 6th win in a row, from his 6th pole in a row. It's his 7th win of the season. He is unstoppable in 2025. Roberto Perina's going to cross the line in P2, and he will take the fastest lap extra point. Dylan Medler will get 3rd place, so we're going to focus now on the fight here for the 1, 2, 3 in Pirelli AM. And at the minute, Eric Pan out front is unchallenged as he comes down into the final corner. Nobody close enough. So Pan earlier on this year, he got pole and P2 in Sonoma. He got 3rd and then 3rd again in Sonoma on the second race in terms of qualifying and race performance. Today, he gets it done. He gets the pole and he gets the win. Eric Pan takes it. Brad Falver and Joe Rubo within tenths of seconds behind him. Good job by Eric Pan there. Just kept it sensible throughout the whole race. Fantastic stuff. Cook did hold on for 4th. Kaminsky got 5th, so managed to hold McWilliams off. The gap between them was a second at the end of the race, and he was 0.3 off the back of Cook. And there are the Perinas side by side. Another great job by Ferrari of Seattle for a 1-2. And how many times we used that graphic this year? Massimo Perina, another win. Just incredible, Tony.
Yeah, he has great pace, so really fast driver in qualifying. And I already noticed last year when there is difficult situations, safety cars, even track conditions with slick tires when it's raining, he just nerves of steel.
Yeah.
No mistakes and very dominant performance, fast laps when it's needed, and very, very impressive. Already thinking about the World Finals, what kind of performance he's going to have against the European top drivers. So very interesting to follow that progress as well.
Yep, certainly is. Medler's dropped back a little bit through the pack, but he was P3, as I say, when they crossed the line. Kaminsky was the move, definitely wasn't he in the race? Although I'll have to say I thought Medler's attempt at the first start was brilliant. He had a really good crack at trying to waving for the fans over the corkscrew. Fantastic stuff. Trofeo Pirelli Race 1 from Laguna Seca. Massimo Perina with his 6th win in a row, his 7th win of the season. Just an incredible performance. His uncle Roberto Perina 7.3 seconds back. Dylan Medler a further 5 back in P3. Brian Cook, Johnny Kaminsky having passed Ethan McWilliams with a lap to go on the run up to the corkscrew. Manages to get 5th, McWilliams 6th, McCarthy 7th, and Tony Davis is P8. Trofeo Pirelli AM. As you take a look at the rolling hills here in California, Eric Pan takes the win. You say he had a P2 and a P3 earlier on in the year. His only 2 outings at Sonoma, so he's collected podium positions, and this time it's the most important one, the gold position, P1 on the top step. Brad Falvey P2, Joe Rubo P3, Ray Acosta, Harry Chung, Michael Porter, Sebastian Mascaro in 7th place, and Matthew DL. Then it's Balcasoon, Venceslas Gutierrez, Hopkins, McWilliams, Beckman, and Cleveland down to P15. And then Cesniak, Mathez, Logan and Levy, of course, plus 18 laps, unfortunately retiring early on in this one. With the contact in the first corner. The car's coming down pit road now, and they'll return into the vast paddock here. Very happy indeed. Yeah, P1. Great job. Just making it look easy, and it's not. It's not easy.
But this is what often happens when you are in a good loop, when everything is working well, you're happy with your car setup, things look easy. And when you're struggling, you actually need to do the double duty. You need to work more.
Yeah.
You're more tired after the races. And when everything works really well, then it should look easy.
I love that. Massimo just said to his uncle, he goes, "What a lap!" So he's obviously he's probably annoyed he missed out on the clean sweep of the 3. But you know what? If you're going to miss out, it's better to miss out to a family member than anyone else, isn't it? Eric Pan with the win in Pirelli. Brad Falvey the first to go over and congratulate him. Falvey, of course, sitting in P2 behind him, was unable to find a way through. Joe Rubo did a great job of keeping Ray Acosta behind as well. Is Massimo, is he sweating at all? Does Massimo has he had to put effort into this or not? I'm not sure. Maybe a little bit.
Too young and too fit.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not, you know what, it's not as hot here as it's been at the other ones.
You hit your apexes, so I couldn't do anything.
Great to hear. Look at that. I love to hear that. The drivers having a little chat between each other. You hit your apexes. I couldn't do anything. That's great stuff. Brad Falvey congratulating Eric Pan. Somebody else who needs congratulating is Massimo Perina, and he is down there with Nina Jade Paul.
Yes, I am with the race winner, Massimo Perina. Pole and a win. Good day at the office?
As good as it gets. I can't think of a better way to end the day.
We talked about your impeccable form this season, Massimo. That was your 6th win in a row. You must be feeling confident in regards to the championship now.
Incredibly confident. I mean, it's all coming down to the wire, even though the points lead seems to grow. I'm just really happy with how the car performed and how well the team has put me in position to potentially win this championship.
Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Super calm after another brilliant performance and saying he feels very confident, and rightly so. The points gap will go up again, and obviously having Roberto Perina between him and Dylan Medler will help his cause. I'm just looking to see as well. Roberto Perina is actually only, 13 points behind. So he's only 13 points back himself from Medler. So they'd love to get a family 1-2 if they can. But Medler, as last year's champion, is not going to give that up easily. He's going to make that as hard as he possibly can.
Right out of turn 11, which is stupid. And I'm like, I think I got to go. So he's like, we can't go now. So
I love listening to the drivers. It's great, all the little tales of what happened to them during the race. Look at this, Massimo Perina, every inch of the green paint out to the outside. Just a gentle round of applause and a double P1 finger. Yeah, good job. Good job. Eric Pan, the winner of Pirelli Am, is with Nina Jade Paul.
Yes, I am with the lovely Eric Pan. You said you didn't get a clean lap during qualifying. You still got pole, and you converted that pole to a race win. You must be happy.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy, but I think I got very lucky on this track. It wasn't a good race for myself. I was trying to be very protective on my lines, so my pace wasn't up there. But fortunately for this track, it's hard to overtake. I think Brad was on my ass for a couple times, and I think I got very lucky today. It's not a clean, good race for myself, but like I said, I got a job done. So. First place is first place.
I was going to say, Brad kept you honest throughout that race.
I wasn't driving good, so I wasn't, I kind of got scared by Brad a little bit, but, I'm happy we got a first place.
What's it like when someone's breathing down your neck and putting on that pressure? How do you stay focused?
I think you just got to look at your lines, look at your apexes, and, I know for a fact that even if he's within 0.2, 1/10, it's hard to overtake. As long as I kind of hit the apex, don't make mistakes, it's going to be hard for him to pass, but, he drove a brilliant race as well, so, yeah.
Congrats again, Eric.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great job, Eric Pan. Been quite hard on himself there, and I don't think he needs to be. He's saying it wasn't the perfect race. We got P1. You got it done. He did what he needed to do, and he didn't need ultimate pace here. He was able to just hang on to that position. Massimo Perina extends the gap to 59 points from Dylan Medler, and Roberto Perina closes the gap down from 13 to 7 points. So could we see the Perinas head across to Europe for the finale Mondiale in P1 and P2? I say Medler will definitely want that not to happen, but I do think 59 points is looking like a hard gap to close. Tony Davis moves up 2 places, as does Kaminsky and Ethan McWilliams. Remember, Kaminsky went down the standings because he missed both races, and Kaminsky, look, is still definitely within range of getting P4 in the standings. Would have been right up there with Roberto Perina had he not missed those races. Gray Falva, Dave Musial Jr. dropping down the order from P7 and P8. And we can take a look at the points for Pirelli AM as well. Look at that, what a view. It really is beautiful up here. Your ears pop. It's high enough up that as you come up the mountain, your ears pop. And even the access road to this place is steep. Brad Falva with a gap of 33 points over Sebastian Mascaro, but Mascaro is still 40 points clear, look, of Ophir Levy. Ophir Levy and Jay Logan moving up ahead of Dave Musial, Ray Acosta, Gerda Svenselas and Dan Magnaszewski. Down to P8 in terms of the overall standings. So Falva definitely the favourite there.
Yeah, not a good race for Levy. He's third in the championship and he was out at turn 1.
Yes, absolutely. So cars are heading out now. This is the Copper Shell cars on their way out, and they're getting themselves ready for their encounter. So I think we'll probably see a bit more overtaking in this because there'll be some varied pace between the drivers. So don't go anywhere, stick around. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with Copper Shell Race 1 from Laguna Seca. welcome back to Laguna Seca WeatherTech Raceway as we prepare ourselves for round 6. It's a double-header weekend, and of course both categories here, Trofeo Pirelli and Copper Shell as well. Copper Shell are about to get underway for their first race. They've already been out on the reconnaissance lap. My name's Andrew Coley. Alongside me is Tony Verlander, and this is a classic track. Let's take a quick look at it. There's a shot from our drone of the drivers. They're ready to go already. We are good to get ourselves rolled out, and we can take a look at the track map. And Tony, we all know about the corkscrew, but it is, we just seen from the Pirelli race, it's hard to pass here.
Yeah, low grip, dirt outside the racing line, a lot of corners, basically a single line, takes a lot of entry speed, good flow throughout the corners. Not many corners where you really need to stop for hard braking. So basically after turn 2, turn 3, 4, 5, 6, up to corkscrew, everything is just carrying more speed to the apex of a corner. So if you need to defend for your position, it's quite easy with those type of corners. And almost the driver in front of you needs to commit an error to be able to overtake.
Beautiful day here at Laguna Seca. You see the drivers are getting their thumbs up. We've got a job to do. So let's get down to Nina J. Paul in pit lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Just echoing what Tony was saying, we saw how tricky it was to overtake in the Pirelli and Pirelli Am race. So if these guys want to make up positions, they are going to have to be extra punchy. But without further ado, drivers, start your Ferrari engines.
Here we go. Get things underway. The burble, the low burble, which will soon turn into a howl as we get a very big grid launch down to turn 1. We saw unusual contact in turn 1 amongst the Trofeo Pirelli runners, and Copper Shell has, I think, a bigger grid, so there'll be more cars. There'll still be a gap between Copper Shell and Copper Shell Am. At the front of Copper Shell, of course, we have Jan Bernier and Mitchell Green, who are separated by some 11 points. Last time out, Mitchell Green won both races, qualified second for both, got the fastest lap in both. And it was P2 twice for Jan Bernier. Bernier had, prior to that, 3 wins in a row, whilst at Indy, in the first race at Indy, Mitchell Green finished in P11, and unfortunately that was where he lost some of those championship points. So it's been a fantastic battle, Tony. We saw an amazing battle this morning between Green and Bernier for the pole position. Like, genuinely a banger of a fight, wasn't it? It really was good. Yeah,
it was the last lap of qualifying, and both drivers setting their fastest laps, and only 1 or 2 tenths separating them for the pole position. So very energized front row for our Shell race, and let's see for the start. Mitchell really needs to concentrate to have the right things for the start procedure, not to overtake the leader before the green flag, and then where he's going to position his race car, where he's going to look for that overtaking opportunity. And also, if we said in Pirelli Am that when there's Ray Acosta there's show, but also with Mitchell Green is the same thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he goes for it. He goes for it. Right, we're looking forward to this. Let's get ourselves ready for Copper Shell Race 1. Laguna Seca, the venue for the 6th weekend of Ferrari Challenge North America. This is Race 1 for Copper Shell. Let's take a look at how they line up for that run down to the all-important first corner. Jan Bernier and Mitchell Green on the front row fought tooth and nail for pole at the very end of the session. It was brilliant. Gary Ott, Chuck Whittle on row 2. Ott will look to return the favour and see if he can swamp them in the first corner. Roy Carroll and Stephen Chen. Then it's Mike Chen and Brad Evans on row 4. Row 5, Joel Rose and William Naranjo. Row 6, Osvaldo Gallo and Andrew Parker. And then row 7, Jarrett Bilacek and Javier Rodriguez Borgio. Mike Luley and Fabian Sperman on row 8. Then it's Michael Owens and Melissa Kozira. Gabe Hribb and Paul Lynn. Lewis Flory and Tom Petromolo. Lance Corley and Henry Hummel on row 12. Matthew Herfield, Ed Vartugi in row 13. Luis Peruskia and Wai Lau on row 14. Row 15, all female, Stephanie Herfield and Helen Chu. Bernard Gomez and Jeffrey Keel on 16. David Williams and Jesus Mendoza on row 17. Steve Check and Brian Waltersdorf closing out the back of the grid. Right. Warm-up lap about to be completed The safety car will peel off to the side. The lights are off on it already. And look, Bernier and Mitchell Green in that title fight. There are 4 races to go for these guys. Of course, the double header here. And then a double header at Mugello for the Finale Mondiale. Inside line for Bernier. Mitchell Green will try and do something in turn 1. Behind them, Whittle and Gary Ott. Gary Ott is in the red-coloured car, Whittle with the chrome. Are they early on the gas? They do, and then they go back on the brake again. Got to be careful, checking the pack up like that. Back on the gas now on the run down to turn 1. Bernier gets a good start. Mitchell Green looking to go the long way round. Can he go deep on the brakes? Gary Ott's got to go late on the brakes. He wants to hold that position from Whittle. Ott in over the curbs. Whittle around the outside line. And out front, it is Bernier on the dirt. Mitchell Green. Mitchell Green tries to get past her. Mitchell Green is trying to come through. They're a very long way back for Copper Chalam. That's a massive gap back to the Copper Chalam category. Front of this field is Fabian Sperman and Michael Owens, and they're on the run to the first corner now. Meanwhile, Mitchell Green, and a position lost. Gary Ott gets up the inside of Bernier, so does Chuck Whittle. Bernier's been mucked here. Bernier's got a problem. Has Bernier got a problem having run off onto the dirt? Jan Bernier, the championship leader, has not been off the podium all year. Has he got a problem? Wow, okay, yes, the car is definitely, it's crabbing down the road, Tony.
Yeah, looks like the toe is out. We have damage, we have contact here. But looks like Bernier's car has got some damage.
Kozera's gone round in the 108. She's going to have to spin the car back round and get it underway. What we didn't see was what caused the damage. Was it contact with Mitchell Green, or was it him running off the side of the track? We don't know. So we saw the start for Copper Chalam, and I'm sure we might have some action to take a look back at replays. But Bernier and Green with problems at the start. This is Kozera. Where is she? She has collected. She does. It's Florian. Well, or did she turn across? We can't see from that angle. But Florian and Kozera come together. So Kozera spins the car back around. Here comes Lewis Flory. Flory making moves on the exit here. Trying to get alongside and get a position taken. He does. Good job. He's moving, siding through the pack here. So did he lose time at the start? It's Paul Lynn, I think, who dispatched a moment ago. This is Gabe Hribb, who's in front of him now. So Lewis Flory looking to make, and in the background now, up the inside again, that was Paul Lynn trying to come back at Lewis Flory. So we'll have to take another look. There's a lot to talk about already. There is a lot to talk about already. The contact with Flory. Obviously, Jan Bernier is tumbling down the leaderboard. He is at the back. Flory looks to the inside line of Gabe Hribb.
There was a yellow flag.
So you think, okay, but did he make... and Flory now spins, so Flory super full of aggression on this lap, gets back on the throttle, spin the car around. He's not aggressive enough, and that means he's going to have to reverse, so nightmare.
Yeah, I think he was overtaking into turn 1, and then, turn 2, and there was also a yellow flag at the Marshall point.
So you think maybe back to... And there's a safety car on the gravel, that's why the yellow flag's out. So the safety car... That's unusual. That is really unusual. Waved yellows here. So he looks up the inside. He goes across the curb, which unsettles the car.
But why is there
contact or not?
No, he just spins.
He spins, so he stays on the inside over the curb. But the marshal's waving the yellows, I think, for the safety vehicle that's on the gravel trap. Really unusual to see a car out there anyway. But the race continues, and they'll be able to move that car by the time we get back round. But, yeah, slightly strange. Green leads. This is massive for the championship. Let's get back into championship mode. We didn't see what happened in the first couple of corners with Green and Jan Bernier, but Mitchell Green leads here, 1.2 seconds over Gary Ott. In terms of championship positions, remember, Jan Bernier led and has been on the podium at every single round this year, Tony. He's never been lower than P3, and he's retiring from this race. It's huge.
Yeah, he said after qualifying that his key element for the championship is consistency. So Mitchell Green had a really good acceleration on green flag. They went side by side the first corners. Then, unfortunately, our images was cut to the Shell Am start, and they went through 3, 4 side by side, and coming out of 4, then Bernier's car was moving sideways, toe link out, something for the suspension was broken. So very, very big moment for the championship.
Fabian Sperman, P1 at the minute in Copper Shell, and we're just chasing up to see if we've got any replays that we didn't see in the live. We may have, but we might not, because obviously the Copper Shell Am start was a long way back, Tony. It's very unusual to see a gap that big. And Bernier in. They're going to work on the car. This is a good decision if it's just a toe link, and I think it is it? On the right-hand side, yes, it is. So this is the link effectively which holds the toe angle on the rear corner, doesn't it? Are they changing a toe link?
Or drive shaft.
But
Toe
maybe
link or drive shaft.
Maybe both. But if the drive shaft's intact and it's just the toe link, they could maybe get the car back out having only lost a lap. What are the parts on the floor?
No, it's something related to the suspension.
Yeah, so toe link maybe.
Yeah.
So if that's bent or broken, then they may be able to get him back out, and that would just be a case then of
And
not
there
being
was
a
also
DNF.
one new tire, so if he needs to replace the tire, he doesn't have that tire for tomorrow's qualifying.
Yes, good point. So then it's a bit of a risk.
Yeah, let's see.
Right, we can take a look at something with Bernier. I don't know what it is yet. It's just what we've managed to find. So let's take a look at Jan Bernier and Mitchell Green in turn 1, and we're going to see what happened. Okay, here it is. So Mitchell Green on the inside, Bernier outside. Bernier gets on the loose, and then he comes back over the curb, does he? So Green's on the
No
outside. This is the run
here.
to turn 3. So
Oh, maybe was just happening
we need
after.
to see that replay longer if we've got any longer on that shot, and I'm not sure we have, but if we have any longer, we need to see what happened in turn 3, the right-hander. Meanwhile, they're working frantically on the car. Nina Jade's in the pit lane. Nina Jade, what you got?
Yes, absolutely, Andrew. You were absolutely right. It is a broken toe link, and they are working on it now, trying to send him back out. It was contact with Mitchell Green, but they are working tirelessly to try and get Jan back on track.
Okay, so if there's contact between them, then obviously... right, we're going to see the next turn. Let's see, we've got a little bit more on the replay for you. Here is Mitchell Green, the leader. What happened in that next corner? Here it is.
I think there was contact.
Yeah,
it broke. Yeah, the damage is there now.
Okay.
So the contact was at turn 3.
So in front of Casa Ferrari, they were in contact at some point. And this is that Gary Ott?
Yeah, he was P2.
Gary Ott was P2.
Whoa.
Gary Ott spun in the 106 and drops back. He's on the dirt. He'll be gutted about that. He's going to come back across the track. He'll have dirty tyres. He's got to get back up to pace as quickly as he can and try and make his way through. He just done the fastest lap, 126.1.
And he was putting pressure on Mitchell Green. He was closing. The gap was less than a second.
I love Gary. He's such a nice guy. Here's the replay of it. So he hits the curb on the inside. Look, It just upsets the car a bit. Stays on the gas and ends up coming round and getting back
luckily nobody
from
runs
the dirt.
into him.
Oh, well. So Mitchell Green now miles out in front. Chuck Whittle is the next driver behind him. The gap back was 3.9. The big question mark here, Tony, and I'm not jinxing Mitchell because we haven't seen it, so I'm not making any accusations about anything. We don't know what happened, but it was contact between the two championship leaders. So we'll have to wait and see what we can have a catch up. If we can't get Bernier back out, it'd be great for Nina Jade to go and ask him what happened from his point of view.
Yeah, I think I saw like Bernier's Miro was flying in the air mid-corner turn 3. So side by side through there, and then the toe link was broken already before turn 4, and then he just lost places and had to lift the throttle.
Chuck Whittle with Stephen Chen and Mike Chen behind. Stephen in the 1, 2, 3. The car behind, the sort of camo green colour car. Chuck Whittle's car, my favourite livery. I just think it looks amazing everywhere. Look at that. Look, how cool is that? Do you ever have a livery that was that cool, Tony? No?
I did many years ago in Atlanta, Petit Le Mans. We had full chrome.
Yes, really.
Livery, and it was special.
Yeah,
it was very nice.
Oh, he's under pressure here from Chen. So Chen trying to find a way around the outside. Bernier coming back out. So Jan Bernier's team have managed to get that done. Ferrari of Seattle have fixed the car in the pit lane, and he'll show up in a minute on our timing screens. 3 laps down, but he's got to get out there and just try and finish the race and grab some points, Tony.
Yeah, now. He needs to be careful. He needs to be careful not to make any more damage.
Yeah.
Just bring the car to the checkered flag, and I think he will get some points, most likely, just taking the checkered flag. So that's why the team didn't want to give up or retire the car. And
it's a small job. I'm going to say a small job. You try and get your local garage to do it that quickly, it's going to cost a lot. It's going to be in there a couple of hours. But
yeah, one of the issues at this stage to make a repair on cars is the heat.
Yes.
The brake discs, so the rotors, everything is super hot, and it's difficult for the mechanics to work in that area. And yeah, they did good.
Yeah, they did ever so well. Oh, this time Chen goes too deep. Whittle holds his nerve on the brakes, and Chen gets a bit too deep. The gap is 6.2 to Mitchell Green, who's checked out the front. Is that the remains of a wing mirror in the middle of the road there from earlier on? There's dirt on the track as well.
Yeah, now when Bernier rejoined the race, he had both mirrors on his car. but definitely there is some pieces and parts of the race cars around that area, so turn 3.
I'm sure at the end of the race we'll try and piece those two replays together and see if we can get the whole sequence from turn 2 through to turn 4, because it happened in 3, we think, don't we, in front of Casa Ferrari.
Yeah, so last weekend I was in Silverstone for the Ferrari Challenge UK.
Ah, no way.
And I was the driver advisor with
with
the stewards. And the next thing is, after the race, they take the, how do you call the ST?
The onboards,
onboards on both.
The memory card.
Yes, on both drivers, and that helps the race director or the stewards to evaluate the situation, if there is penalties or not. Obviously Mitchell is now leading the race. Bernier is more or less out of the race, but stewards still have a chance to do it after the race.
Bernier was on the dirt when we saw him last, so he's rejoined. We just don't know what happened in that next corner. So,
yeah.
And it won't be up to us anyway. And we want to see close racing. And I know that they've had a brilliant season. They wouldn't have wanted to come together, but it's happened. So that's how it is. Mitchell Green, who was second in the championship by 11 points, is leading this race by 6.9 seconds. So the gap's gone up to 7. Here you can see the battle for P2. Chuck Whittle and Stephen Chen are super close together, less than 1/10 of a second between them. And behind that, Mike Chen is there to pick up the pieces as well.
I think Mitchell Green will have Roberto Amorosi on the radio. Roberto saying, like, take it easy. He's lapping almost a second faster than P2 driver, so Mitchell Green really just needs to control this race right now.
This is a good run by Stephen Chen, incidentally, Tony. He was with us in Miami, but that's been his only races this year, as he uses all the road and a little bit more on the outside of the curbs. He was 10th in Miami first race, and then qualified 4th and finished 4th in the second one. So if he can hold on to even P3, this would be his best result of the year, but he's looking to take the lead on the run up to the top here. Chuck Whittle is late enough on the brakes into the corkscrew, and he can't find a way through. So Chen looks just a little bit racy. Maybe he's a sort of Kaminsky move from earlier on.
Yeah, Chuck Whittle's speed is really getting a bit slower, so that's why, again, there's like a train. There's a group of drivers forming behind him. He needs to be a bit defensive. He lost a little bit of rhythm, and that's why leader Mitchell Green is gone, and now it's battle for P2.
Oh, sideways from Whittle on the exit of the last corner as well. Comes out of 11. And just gets a little bit sideways. The gap was 6.9, it's now 7.0. So that was actually a really good lap. The top 3 all on 127.6. And in fact, Mike Chen in P4 on a 127.4. So he went 2/10 quicker and will be closer to the back of these two. There he is with the red and blue car in the background. So Mike Chen looking to join the fight. And Whittle, I think, is struggling a bit for grip here.
Yeah, it looks like for the rotation. So the car is really struggling to turn those medium speed corners, and he's struggling, for example, to turn 3, where Chen is really putting pressure. Now let's see.
He looks to the inside line.
No.
Oh, Tony, you heard Tony Valander's thoughts on it. You don't want to make contact. It was good.
Yeah, that is a difficult spot, because either you go, and if you want to back off, that's normally when the contact happens, because it's too late. Yeah. So that was a close call.
You got to commit to it, and he looks like he's having another look now. Look, he runs over the curves on the left, and then on the right-hand side, fantastic shot from the drone. They're so close together. Look, Chen, Rose, Naranjo, 5 cars in that battle for P2. Great stuff here from Coppershell. And look at this. Look how close Chen is. Could he have a look into the last corner or not? It's hard, isn't it? This is through 10, and then 11 coming up. He's not close enough. And then, of course, you compromise your speed the whole way up the straight. I can remember MotoGP here, and some of the passing, and particularly down at 11 there, it was wonderful. What a great track.
Yeah, this track is awesome on 4 wheels, but imagine on 2 wheels, the motorbikes. They are absolutely...
It's just brilliant.
If race car drivers sometimes a bit crazy, on 2 wheels is another world.
It's another level. It is another level. I agree with you there. Look at Chen. Chen looks quicker but can't find a way through, and this is a bit reminiscent of what we saw in the Pirelli race. You've got to work really hard or take a big risk if you want to make a pass.
I think Mitchell Green heard our comments and he's backing off. He's back to the rhythm of the others. No need to lap 1 second quicker than...
No, just keep it at 7.2. Keep it on the island. Keep it steady, isn't it? Gary Ott with the fastest lap is still P9 after that spin. I don't know if he's been making his way back up through the field or not. He is quicker. Look, Ott's on 127.4. He's quicker than the 5 cars in front of him, Gary Ott, but he's running down in P9. And this is the Fabian Sperman, the Coppershell Am leader. Sperman is how far off from Bilacek? Oh, only... No, Oh, sorry, let me see. Right, I've lost myself on the timing screen. Owens, sorry, in P2. So Owens in P2, and the gap is, well, it was 0.4 of a second, but I'd say that's gone up a bit since then. Halfway distance in this one. Feels like a very much lull in the background here. Moving off to the inside. Is that a problem or just a different line? I think it's a different line. And that's Bernier on the right-hand side. Jan Bernier is trying to make his way up through the field, but of course, remember, his laps down. Even if he passes these guys, and of course he will, because he's an absolute front runner in this class. But really, Tony, he's looking for people to retire. That's the reason he's back out there, is he needs a couple of people to retire from the race. Yeah, he's looking at, trying to scratch as many points as he can. Here, the battle then for P2. 4 laps down, we're hearing. Chen still trying to find a way through on Chuck Whittle. This time gets outside. Whittle goes a little defensive on the way, and this will give Chen a better line on the exit. He is almost in contact with him. You couldn't park that Ferrari closer. Chen is throwing everything at trying to make a pass. Behind him is Mike Chen, who's also trying to find a way through. So Stephen and Mike Chen here, running in P3 and P4 in Copper Shell, up to the top of the hill. And Whittle doing a good job of holding them off, to be fair.
Yeah, he's defending, but not too aggressively. The rhythm, the lap times are still decent. There's still some variation. Some parts of the track, it looks like Chen is really fast, a lot faster than Whittle. And then again, some areas where Whittle is able to pull away. Like we see the second half of the lap now, Whittle has done a good job and he's pulled away 3-4 car lengths.
Yeah, he's good in that final sector, isn't he, down to the bottom of the hill. So Mike Chen now coming under pressure from Rose behind. So this is the Am battle for third, but in the middle of it is Jan Bernier, who's 4 laps down. But what can Bernier do? You know, he can only circulate at that pace. If I were him, I might be wanting to get out of the way in case you get collected. If you're already 4 laps down, you might as well just circulate. And this is the Am lead. Fabian Sperman and Michael Owens. Owens looking to the inside line, gets alongside him. Is it a problem for Sperman? Owens and Sperman side by side on the run to the first corner. Michael Owens has got it done, slots up the inside and takes the position away. So what happened with Sperman? Was that just a bad exit from 11? Got alongside him really easily.
It looked really easy.
Really easily. Unless Sperman's got a problem. So Owens takes the lead just as we come back to them. Michael Owens leads from Fabian Sperman. Gabe Hribb is in P3. Okay, we've had offs here. So somebody's in the tyre wall on the inside line. Which one is it? Did you see the number? I didn't catch a race number on that, I'm afraid, in the background. We might end up with the foot. It's a long way off, I don't know. Could you not carry on? Do you think it's too far? If we see the driver get out, we can carry on. If we don't, they'll have to full course yellow it. Owens and Sperman. Of course, Sperman will be gutted if it goes full course yellow now and they don't get it cleared in time for him to continue the race. Race control will be looking to see, if the driver is okay and getting out of the car or not. And he's getting away. He is getting away. Oh no, they've gone full course yellow and the car's out of the wall, so they could have left it. It's Joel Rose. So Rose was in P. Oh, here it is.
That was quite a big one.
Piled it into the tyres.
I think that might be you using so much track in the exit, and when you lose the grip, there's a little bit of bumps on the exit curb, and he hit pretty hard the barriers.
He's done well, to be fair. He's done well, and that's a spin as well. So it's all kicking off here. Lots of mistakes coming late in the race.
Yeah, 177.
It's Borgio, yeah. So full course yellow. I'm not surprised. If I was race control at this point, I'd be chucking the towel in as well and going, we didn't ever think about this. Everyone needs to get themselves back on track. So full course yellow. Right, let's take a look at this then. Is this Borgio? Yeah, so that's Borgio up in turn 1. According to my stats, this is his first outing this year. Unless he's come up from Club Challenge, because I recognise the name. I think he might come up from Club Challenge.
So all the work Mitchell Green did, now he's gone.
Yeah, true. Mind you, you'd put money on him having the pace, wouldn't you, seeing as Whittle has been kind of at the front of that chain of Chen, Naranjo and Parker.
Yeah, there's one lapped car, and the safety car is waving. Is it 111?
Yeah.
Maybe it was
Waltersdorf. If it is the 111, it's Waltersdorf that he's waving through, and that's to make sure that. Okay, let's go on board with Stephanie Herfield here. There she is, coming up through the long left-handers.
So when you get the call for safety car, then you just maintain the speed of the other cars more or less. The idea is to put the group back together, clear whatever caused the full course yellow or the safety car, and then once we are ready to go, safety car lights off, safety car in, and then the leader, Mitchell Green, will run under the green flag and take the restart again. But now obviously is how long it takes.
I think we could get lucky here, and it could only be one lap, because although the car went heavily into the tyres, I think the tyre wall is intact, because it's about that as much as anything. So we could get straight back underway with 9 minutes 40 remaining on the clock. That's what I'd like. I'd love to see a race to the finish here. It's on the left up there, isn't it? It looks okay to me.
Looks decent.
If the concrete wall is exposed, they would have to put the tyres back from a safety point of view. But if it's not, if it was a double layer, they might get away with it. It's like a triple layer of tyres, look there, isn't it? He went in hard.
Yeah, the thing is, drivers, we didn't see what caused the car to go spinning, but normally if you use a lot of track at the exit of turn 5, there is a couple of bumps that may disconnect the car a little bit from the ground. You lose the grip, the car is still rotating, and then you end up spinning to the inside wall. So that might be the reason.
Yeah.
And again, turn 5 is a corner where you carry in a lot of speed. It's a little bit tanked towards inside, so you actually feel more grip, more speed you carry in. At the apex you feel more grip, and then if you are in trouble in the exit and you don't back off, this might happen.
Right, let's see, this is what caused the full course yellow. Have another look at this in the background. He goes in hard, look at that, boom. Tyre barrier does its job, and the 296 challenge car also doing its job, protecting the driver brilliantly. Look, I mean, it's rear quarter and possibly a bit of suspension damage as well, but
and a lot of dirt.
Right, let's take a look at Green versus Bernier again, although as I understand it, we probably don't have exactly the shot we need. So this is turn 1, the exit of it, 2 wheels on the dirt for Bernier, but at this point he's still inside Mitchell Green. Green turns in
he
here,
turns in.
And there's the contact.
Yeah.
So the question mark is, did Green turn across him, or did Bernier run wide and into him?
Yeah, it's very difficult to say on this from this angle. It was a start. It was a side-by-side action, and
that's why they'll need the judicial cameras that you were talking about earlier, Tony.
Yeah.
Every car carries a judicial camera as well as the telemetry cameras that the coaches use, doesn't it? So they'll be able to look at all of that. Bernier is back in the pits.
Yeah, it's very difficult to judge from the angle we saw.
So I wonder why Bernier's chosen to park it. I guess he might just roll back out and finish the race. At this point, he knows the only places he will make up are those drivers who retire. They're going next time. Okay, so Bernier's going to join on at the back, because at 4 laps down, he will only make places when people retire from this race. Sensible decision, especially if there might be further damage on the car, or he's trying to save that Pirelli tyre that you mentioned, Tony, for tomorrow.
Or just speculation, if he got a penalty, drive-through penalty or something, and he's serving it right now. This is just speculation. But
Nina Jade, what have you got on Jan Bernier?
Yeah, Jan Bernier was in the pits just sorting out his tyre pressures. He's gone back out. You never know what happens with your competitors. Mitchell Green might have an issue, so he's gone back out to try and finish this race and make up as much places as he can.
Thank you, Nina Jade. So, yeah, what we suspected, just playing it safe, make sure you're still circulating, get yourself a finish rather than a DNF, and look at what's happened. We've got 6 minutes left, the safety car's coming in. You could have a 6-car pile-up, and suddenly you're getting 6 sets of points more. Don't forget also, all of the Shell-Am cars that are in front of him are irrelevant in terms of his points. He will be scoring the lowest Shell points. So even now, 4 laps down, he would be P15 overall, even though there's 20, 30-odd cars left in the race. He's only scoring points in the Copper Shell category. So it's a good shout from Ferrari of Seattle to send him out. And now Mitchell Green needs... in the background, who's pulling in? Whittle is still P2. So that must be a lap car. Whittle gets a little nudge from the back from Chen. Green flag. Green is away nicely. So Whittle is under enormous pressure. 2 cars coming in the background.
And a massive gap Mitchell Green was like a half a straight line ahead of
Yeah,
everybody.
they were sleeping, weren't they?
That was
Oh,
aggressive,
no.
Spearman, I think.
Is it Spearman gone round and he's in the track? He's in the track, or was in the track, certainly for a moment. You could see people swerving out the way to get out of his way. So Spearman...
Yeah, 184.
Yeah.
Forceful move into last turn. Wow.
All kicking off here as we get back underway. So who Fabian Spearman was leading. So what happened?
I think Spearman before for Coachella was P2 because he lost the place on the straight line when we said that it was way too easy with the way he lost the place.
Problems in the background. I think it's Gabe Cribb who's just lost 2 places. And in the background, that's Owens trying to come back up through the field, isn't it? So Owens, as in the 103, the green and blue car has gone from P1 down to P4. Spearman's got back into the lead. Cribb is in the mix, but I think has been passed by one of the cars, which is showing us behind him. And now people running wide, look. Luis Flores was in there as well, was he? Or no, it must be blue. No, another blue and white car, my bad. Spearman still leading then. Drops down off the top of the crest. And we'll try and get away with 4 minutes 20 to go. Mitchell Green was 1.8 seconds ahead of Chuck Whittle as they came over the line, and it's a spin in the background.
Whoa.
All the way across the dirt to the outside line.
Rejoice.
Oh, big bump as well coming back over where the pavement starts at the edge of the gravel trap. So Mitchell Green out in front from Chuck Whittle. Chuck Whittle is ahead of Stephen Chen. Chen, though, was applying pressure before and is now not quite close enough.
The restart, Whittle was really not close enough to Mitchell Green.
So
almost like he wasn't aware of the
well, the pace car went in super early,
Yeah.
or like from a long way in front, and yeah, I say it definitely caught a few people out. Where's Gary Ott now? Still P8. And still going quickly. Most of the field, though, is now in that 128.4 spot. So Whittle has got a tiny bit of breathing space over Chen. Definitely another lap and maybe 2 to go. Jan Bernier is showing us P16. So as we said, going back out, just looking to gather any points he can. He's looking at the battle for the AM lead with Spearman and Paul Lynn. There is Spearman, Lynn behind. Then it's Gabe Cribb is apparently in the mix somewhere, but he was dropping back when we last saw him. Oh, and he runs out wide, so Spearman's made a mistake, and that gets Lynn a bit closer. Lynn looking to try and find a way through on this final lap, or final 2 laps. They'll get this and one more, I reckon. Not quite close enough, was he, Paul Lynn, in the 195? Carroll is in the fight as well, or he's in that pack anyway, but Carroll, of course, is in the Copper Shell group, so Carroll isn't scoring points with these guys, but he's there. Oh, now looking to the inside line. Slower cars again in the middle of the pack. So Spearman leading from Lynn has now managed to get just a little bit of a gap. Mitchell Green, meanwhile, is only 1.1 up the road from Chuck Whittle out front overall. I can't see where Gabe Cribb is. We need to come back over the start-finish line so we can get a new order to see whether Cribb has dropped further down. Cribb, don't forget, is the leader in Shell AM, and at the minute is sitting, well, was sitting 3rd. There he is. There he is going up the hill. So that's Gabe Cribb in between the 2 cars. Owens is behind him, and it might be Carroll in front who's in the Shell category. Oh, and they're all getting checked up. The pack is getting close together here, and we are saying now final lap. So Mitchell Green out front has likely triggered that. He'll be seeing the white flag in a minute. And is he pulling off to the left? I thought he was going off to the left to come in for a moment.
This is a change for P2.
Oh, he's gone round. Spearman goes round, spins back in. That's the leader of Copper Shell AM. He's facing the wrong way on the straight, and he's now going backwards. Oh, this is awful with the dust. The cars are trying to avoid him. Spearman does well to get the car over to the inside line. He's going to spin it back around. The leader has dropped out, and he's falling down the timing. On the left-hand side, you can see P1 to P10 in the blink of an eye. Paul Lynn is your new leader.
No, it's Carroll.
It's Carroll, yeah?
Carroll overtook him in the last corner, and 1 second later...
Carroll's in Shell. Carroll's in Shell. So Lynn leads Shell Am. Yeah, you're right. No, you're good. You're good. He's been in that mix. Yeah, he's been. So Paul, how far up the road is Lynn from behind? He's got a massive gap. So that the dust and the spin has given Paul Lynn absolutely masses of breathing space, and it's Owens who's got up into P2. Gabe Hribb is in P3. Hribb and Owens, remember, are fighting it out for the championship. And Lewis Flory, it was Flory earlier on who span across the gravel. I thought so, and he was third in the standings. Mitchell Green down to the final corner. We still don't know what happened in the first couple of corners, but he's done what he needed to do. He's going to get the win here. It's his third win in a row after a double at Watkins Glen. Mitchell Green takes the win at Laguna Seca. And with Jan Bernier down in P15, he's got up past one lap. Look, you see Bernier was worth it because Rose has dropped even further back after retiring from the race. And Bernier's P15, but it's going to have massive, massive implications on the championship standings. Green, I think, will take the lead here. Into the left-hander, Paul Lynn. On the last lap, he was sitting in P2. There was a spin from the leader who dropped down to P10. And Paul Lynn is going to take the win as he crosses the line here. He took one earlier on this year down in Sonoma, and he takes a second one here. 2 wins in California, 2 different tracks. Spurman is coming through behind Lewis Flory, a long way down the field. Both these guys had spins. Say Lewis was spun across the gravel. Not been his day today. Neither of us. I've got a feel for Spurman. Wow, 12th in class for Spurman, we're hearing.
Yeah, so Lynn lost the place for Carroll, which wasn't overtaking in category. And just 1 second later, Spurman spun on his own, coming out of the last turn, and lost the lead.
Mitchell Green, the winner here. His third win in a row, his 5th win of the season. And he was 11 points behind Jan Bernier, and this would see him into the lead in the championship. He's celebrating hard in the car, which suggests that he feels absolutely nothing at fault. And I'm sure Nina Jade will ask him when in the winner's interview what happened in turn 3. And if it was simply a case of Bernier running wide with dirty tyres, then there's nothing Mitchell could have done about that. And I say it's all out of their hands now. If that's the case, Mitchell might have done well not to pick up damage on the car if it was heavy contact. And there's Paul Lynn. Copper Shell Am winner. Mitchell Green takes the win by only 1.7 seconds, but remember the gap was much bigger than that before the full course yellow. Chuck Whittle P2, Stephen Chen P3, that's your podium. Then Mike Chen, William Naranjo, Andrew Parker, Gary Ott and Brad Evans. The results by Faye. Brian Walterstorff, Mike Lully, Jarrett Bilacek, Osvaldo Gallo, Javier Rodriguez, Borgio, and then Roy Carroll down behind him. There's Spurman, who had that spin late in the race. Bernier will be coming through. There's Bernier coming through. Paul Lynn taking the win in Copper Shell Am from Michael Owens, and Melissa Kozera gets P3. So Gabe Hribb was 4th. Henry Hummel, Tom Petromolo, Stephanie Herfield, and Steve Check, your top 8 in Copper Shell Am, followed by Lance Corley, Edvard Tugin, Matthew Herfield, Lewis Flory, Fabian Spurman, both those drivers spinning. Helen Chu, 14th, and Wailau in 15th. Then Gomez, Williams, Mendoza, Kiel, and Peruskia finishing out top scorers. Look at that. Mitchell Green is over the moon. He's on the roof of his 296 challenge car. He's stoked with this. 3 wins in a row. He will know that what's happened to Bernier is making a big, big difference to it. He's laughing away. I think the team are telling him, watch out for the roof skin, but he doesn't care at this point. Very pleased indeed. Mitchell Green slides down off the roof. Oh, it looks all right, doesn't it? The skin's all right. It's popped back into place.
Yeah, you can see from the celebration how important this win was for him.
The thing is, he will know. He was in that fight all year, wasn't he? He had the not good day in Indianapolis, and just even with the wins, Bernier was just doing what he had to do. He was following him home in P2 in the races at Watkins Glen, and at that point you can't do anything. As long as they just keep following you to the line, you're only losing a couple of points to him. You can't close the gap down, and today will be the point that Mitchell Green will take the lead in the championship. That's Paul Lynn. Quick chat with his engineers. He must be happy with the results. Congrats all round from all the teams. Full stoke mode down in the winners' enclosure. Okay, this is the important bit. Let's take a look at the championship standings while we wait for the drivers to get themselves ready for the interviews. What has that retirement done? Mitchell Green moves into the lead, but the gap is only 7 points. Jan Bernier drops down to P2, but it was well worth them putting that car back out to grab some all-important championship points. Gary Ott gets third. Brad Evans, Walters Dorf is up to in fifth. Up to sixth, Chuck Whittle after a good performance today. Roy Carroll and Jarrett Bilacek dropping down a couple of places. But the most important one, up at the top of the table, Mitchell Green now leads the championship from Jan Bernier by 7 points with 3 races to go. Nina J. Paul is with Mitchell Green now. What happened in turn 3? We need to know.
Damage on his wheel, missing a wing mirror. He's been through the walls, but congratulations, you won the race. Talk us through the overtake with Jan Bernier from your perspective.
So I was on him when I saw the green, and I think he missed the, he didn't have a great start. And I let it run deep, and I undercut him, and I had him, and we fought it to 3, and I wasn't letting out of it, just like he wouldn't have. And then we had contact there. I think he got a little unsettled or whatever, and on through 4, I put it into the dirt and drove through. And then it was more nerve-wracking the entire race to not screw the race up, actually. So,
what was it like driving with so much damage?
It was, I didn't really. It's interesting. I thought the car was a little loose, and then we looked at the wheel and noticed there was wheel damage. So that might have been part of the reason for it.
Wheel damage and missing a wing mirror.
The Ferrari parts department likes me. I've had lots of mirrors missing. So
you are now leading the championship, Mitchell, by 7 points. What does this do for your momentum for tomorrow?
He's going to keep going. I think this is going to go all the way down to Mugello, final race.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
I hope it does. I really do. I'd love to see that championship fight all the way. So look how stoked he is. Congratulations to Mitchell Green. 3 wins in a row to keep his championship alive. The parts department likes me. I've had a lot of mirrors. That's the quote of the year, isn't it? Gabe Ribb still leads the Shell Am category for Michael Owens and Lewis Flory. Melissa Kozira with another great performance here moves up ahead of Jeffrey Nürnberg. And then Lance Crawley, Henry Hummel and Steve Check are your top 8 in that one. A lot going on in that race in both categories.
By the way, I tell you what, it's less stressful with you and Jan around than being alone. You're like, oh, I'm going to screw it up.
I love this. So you let Mitchell Green saying, just feeling the pressure big time of just being on his own. And they're looking at the damage. He was lucky, wasn't he, with that damage on the rim, not to lose the pressure in the Pirelli tyre. Him and Gary Ott having a good chat. Paul Lynn is with Nina Jade now.
Yes, I am with Paul Lynn, race winner today. Congratulations. How does it feel to stand on the top step at this track personally, which is quite tricky?
Yeah, it's awesome. This track is very technical, very tough track. To be able to podium here it's amazing.
What was the race like for you? Were there any difficulties that you had throughout?
It's hard to pass. There's very little room to pass on all the corners. I tried a few times, but it was just way too tight. So I was just waiting for someone to make a mistake.
Sometimes you benefit from other people's misfortune, and you must be happy with this race win.
Yes, awesome win. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How fantastic. Super polite and chilled. Paul Lynn with the win here. That is the damage. Tony, how lucky is that not to have the tyre go down?
Imagine if you lose that edge that is bended, then you lose the air inside the tire. So,
and he could have done that. He could have put it over one curb to knock that tyre off the rim. When the rim's damaged like that, it's much easier to lose the
I
pressure.
saw a Miro flying. I thought it was Jan Bernier's Miro. Instead, was from Mitchell Green's car.
You can see also the damage on the rear wheel arch from tyre to tyre contact in that turn 3. Wow. Well, there we go. Great stuff here on day 1 at Laguna Seca for the final weekend of Ferrari Challenge North America in North America before they head, as Mitchell Green said a moment ago. This is going to go down to the wire at Mugello in Italy. But we've got a whole nother day's racing tomorrow yet. So make sure you join us for that. You can stick around if you want to on the stream, and you'll be able to see the podiums live. But my thanks to Nina J. Paul and Tony Villander for the hard work today. Thanks, Tony. And my name's Andrew Coley. Join us tomorrow for qualifying. And then 2 more races. But if you want to stick around for the podiums, they will be on shortly. So see you soon, guys. Thanks for watching. We also invite Lydia Mariana, Pirelli Commercial Manager, Motorsport North America, from our partners at Pirelli, to present the Pirelli Award to our winner, Massimo Perina. Please welcome a representative from Ferrari of Seattle to accept the Trofeo Pirelli Team Award, once again presented by Louis Colmash, Head of Sales, Ferrari North America. Congratulations, everybody. Get those trophies held high for the photos, please. And now you know what to do. It's time for the champagne! Next up, we invite the winners of the 296 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli AM class onto the stage. In third place, we have Joe Rubo. Yes, Joe, look at that. That's what we want to see on the podium. In P2, we have Brad Falvra. And in P1, your winner today, Eric Pan. Eric with a P2 and a P3 earlier on this year at Sonoma, and completes the set now with the top step of the podium. So please remove your hats for our winner's national anthem. Now, to present the trophies to our winners, please welcome onto the stage FIA Brand Ambassador Ali Chen. We also invite Lydia Mariana, Pirelli Commercial Manager, Motorsport North America, from our partners at Pirelli, to present the Pirelli Award to our winner, Eric Pan. All the trophies for Eric. Please welcome a representative from Ferrari of Beverly Hills to accept the Trofeo Pirelli AM Team Award, once again presented by Ali Chen. Congratulations to all. Please show your trophies for the photos. Photos first, Paul. He's eager with the champagne. Photos first. That's it. Now we get it. Okay, now then, Eric. Time for the champagne! Next up, we'd like to invite the podium finishers for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Copper Shell onto the stage. In third place, Stephen Chen. Some great passing attempts by Stephen during that race. In second place, the man he was chasing, Chuck Whittle. And in first place, your winner today, and now the leader of the Copper Shell Championship, Mitchell Green. And finally, our Gentleman's Cup winner, Gary Ott. Please remove your hat for the winner's national anthem. To present the trophies to our winners, please welcome to the stage Mel Harder, president of the fantastic WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. So P3 for Stephen Chen, P2 for Chuck Whittle. Mitchell Green on the top step of the podium with his 5th win this year, and this one crucial. It gets him back into that championship fight. And Gentleman's Cup winner Gary Ott as well. Please welcome a representative from Ferrari of Westlake to accept the Copper Shell Team Award, once again presented by Mel Harder, President, WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. Congratulations to everyone. Please get those trophies held up high for the photos, first of all. And then you know what to do. It's time for the champagne! Finally then, let's welcome the podium finishers for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Copper Shell Am. In third place, Melissa Kozira. In second place, we have Michael Owens. And in first place, your winner today, Paul Lynn. Already on the stage, we have our Ladies' Cup winner, Melissa Kozira. And to join her, our Gentleman's Cup winner, Tom Petramolo. Please remove your caps for our winner's national anthem. Now we'd like to introduce Vittorio Gimelli, Chief Financial Officer, Ferrari North America, to present the trophies to our winners. Ladies' Cup going to Melissa Kozirian, P3 overall in the race, and the Gentleman's Cup to Tom Petromolo. Lastly, please welcome a representative from Ferrari Newport Beach to accept the Copper Shell Am Team Award, once again presented by Vittorio Gemelli, Chief Financial Officer, Ferrari North America. Ah, great to see. Congratulations to everybody today. Please present your trophies for the photos. And now for the final time on day one here at Laguna Seca, it is time for the champagne! Thank you everybody for coming along here to Laguna Seca this weekend. We hope to see you tomorrow. For those of you watching online, thanks for joining us. More action tomorrow. The final race for Ferrari Challenge North America's American legs before we head to Mugello in Italy for the Finale Mondiale.